Okay, let's come into a nice tall spine, sitting with your legs crossed if that works for you. We'll just start to root down into the sit bones and see if you can start with the lower vertebrae. Imagine just the space between your sit bones and your lower vertebrae lengthening a little bit on this inhale. On the exhale, soften through the face and the shoulders. And then we'll take that up a little further from the sit bones to that second vertebrae, finding a little length there. And then using the exhale to pause and soften. Then keep working your way up the spine, creating space between each vertebrae. See if you can lengthen each breath. And see if you can imagine the breath as our connection to source, as the key to all of the universe right here under our noses. Taking in this prana, this life force, and feeling how that instantly creates presence. And it is within that presence that you sense the presence of the divine or the collective consciousness, whatever you choose to call it. Let's just choose to imagine that the breath is our direct link to it. So taking each breath, instead of just kind of in a hurry onto the next breath like we can do, really trying to hold on to each breath. Creating space for the unmanifest. So lately I've been using yoga as the practice of staying in this place. I used to just do my 5 or 10 minutes of meditation and then get back to my craziness. But now I like to get in this space and then use yoga as the practice of staying in this space while I move my body. Since you're being guided, I'm telling you what to do. You don't need to use your thinking mind right now. So let's try to turn it off. Trying just to stay present in this moment. Imagine as if you had no idea what I was going to say next. I'm trying to stay in this space of connectedness, using the breath to stay connected. As you inhale, lift your arms up and squeeze your palms together. If it's all right with your neck, drop your head back. Keep pressing the sit bones down and lifting through the heart. Press the palms together, lift them a little higher, but softly draw the shoulders down. Now hinge forward, bring your hands to the ground, let your head be heavy. Keep the sit bones grounded, but most importantly, stay with this breath. Stay connected. Resist every temptation that your mind throws your way of trying to take you down a thought train or thinking about later today or tomorrow. And see if you can focus and stay right here in this moment with your breath. Feeling this presence, calming your mind, softening the tension in your body. Now walk it over to the right. Maybe place the left hand on top of the right if you want a little more. Press into the sit bone, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, soften. Now maybe you drop the right elbow a little closer to the ground as you peel the left arm up overhead, rolling the heart up towards the sky, and then reaching to the fingers. Press the left sit bone down. Inhale a little more length into the whole left side. Relax your head and your neck. Use the exhale to soften. Slowly come back up. Sit bones pressed down, hands pressed together, lift up. And exhale, fold. Sink right in, head is heavy. Walk it over to the left. Maybe place the right hand on top, press the right sit bone down, let the head relax. Drop the left elbow down a little bit, roll the right arm up, reach through the fingers, lengthen from the sit bone to the fingertips. Exhale, soften. Slowly come back up. Sit bones pressed down, hands pressed together, lift up. Exhale your hands to your heart. And then your hands down by your sides. Now we'll come onto the hands and knees. Get a nice tabletop setup. Spread your fingers wide, press them down into the mat. Lengthen from the crown to the sit bones. So you're looking down. Imagine your neck is parallel to the ground, just like your spine. Draw the belly in and up. Feel the strength in your arms here, creating an external rotation of the upper arms, like you would turn the upper arm bones out away from each other just slightly to shine the heart forward. Lower arms are making a slight internal rotation, almost like you'd turn your thumbs in towards each other, but you don't really let your hands move. We're really firing up the arms here. That's the same arms we're going to have in down dog and in any arm balances or inversions. We're already finding that here. Now we're just going to turn the wrists around and stretch through the forearms here. So back of the wrists turn forward. If this is already a lot, just stay here, breathe here. If you want a little more, start to rock your body back. So you can either keep your neck nice and long, extending through the crown, or head is heavy, but just be mindful if you're creating any tension there or holding your head funny or sideways. We always want the neck straight. And sometimes we're lengthening a little bit, so that's not really relaxed or softening. But even when we do that, we're trying to soften all the areas around it, the sides of the neck and the shoulders. Take one more breath here. And then we'll turn the hands back around, fire up the arms again. And now inhale, drop the belly low, shine the heart forward, look up, fill up. We'll do cat-cow, but keep your arms engaged. Exhale, round it out. Keep pressing through the fingers and knuckles. Tuck the chin to the chest. Empty every last drop. Now see how long you can make each breath and see if you can feel this fluid wave-like motion coming over the spine. Inviting this presence, the unmanifest, into your body. Inviting yourself to move in this place that we normally reserve for meditation. One more inhale and exhale. Stay with it. Notice the tendency of your mind to cut it short because we just lose focus. And we're just like, all right, I'm over it. On to the next breath. Stay with this breath just a little bit longer. Come back to that neutral spine. Find length in the back of the neck. Fire up the arms. Now peel the right arm up towards the sky. We'll stay for one more breath. So roll that right shoulder back a little more and really twist the heart open towards the sky. And then we'll thread the needle. Bring the shoulder towards the edge of the mat and the right ear down flat. Walk the left hand forward. Relax your head and your neck. So we're not worried about how we've been breathing so far or the next breath. It's just this breath right here. So we're trying to invite in a little bit deeper and really enjoy and explore this breath. See how that exhale can help you to let go of this tension as you soften. Maybe you lift the wrist up, coming up on tented fingertips here, opening up even a little bit more. Now you can stay right here or place your left hand on top of your right and interlace your fingers, straighten into the arms. Relax your head and your neck and your face. So if you keep your eyes, your gaze steady and soft, it'll help to keep your mind steady and soft. So don't let your eyes move around. Try not to fidget around at all. Use your left hand to press yourself back up. Inhale, twist the right arm up. One more breath to stay and twist open. Come back, hands and knees for one really slow cat-cow. Fire up the arms. Stay with this breath. Feel that fluid, wave-like motion, emptying every last drop of air out, and then coming back to neutral. Inhale, peel the left arm up. One more breath. Stay here. Roll that left shoulder back and thread the needle. Left ear down, head and neck relaxed. Walk that right hand forward. See if you can be curious about every single breath, like you don't even know, just like you don't even know what I'm going to say next. Imagine you don't even know what this breath is going to be like, that it's a brand new thing, a brand new moment. Get curious about how long you can make it last and how much you can let it soften your body and still your mind. Come up on those fingertips if you like, lifting that wrist up off the ground, softening again. Staying right here, placing the right hand on top of the left, interlace the fingers, maybe opposite thumb on top this time. Straighten the arms. Use your right hand to press it back up. Inhale, left hand reaches up, twist open. Come back, hands and knees for a really slow cat-cow. Come back to neutral spine, lengthen through the back of the neck, and then slowly just gaze back over your right shoulder. Keep pressing into the hands. Keep that external rotation of the upper arms, internal rotation of the lower arms. See if you can look all the way back to your feet, and then see what you can soften on the exhale. Slowly come back to center and gaze back over the left shoulder, maybe all the way back to the feet. Keep pressing through the hands, keep softening on the exhale. Slowly come back to center. Curl the toes under, lift the knees a couple inches, let the head hang heavy, press into the hands and slowly lift those knees and sit bones up and back till you lengthen the spine all the way out. It's okay, keep the knees bent for now. Let the head stay heavy, press through the fingers and knuckles. Find that external rotation of the upper arms, internal rotation of the lower arms, but soften the traps away from the ears, creating some space here. Now pedal it out. Press the right heel down, bend the left knee even more. Head stays heavy, breath stays deep. Press the left heel down. Don't let your weight rock from one hand to the other. Press into the hands evenly, just alternating the legs. Move with your breath. Now tippy toe your feet forward to meet your hands. Fire up your core on the way. Inhale, lifts you up halfway. Exhale, fold. Grab your elbows behind your knees. Let your head hang. Shake it out a little bit. And then maybe you start to pull your face in a little closer to your knees. Maybe you start to straighten into the legs a little bit. Relax your head and your neck and your jaw. Keep your eyes steady. Your gaze soft. Soften the traps out of the ears. Maybe you start to rock a little weight into the balls of the feet, lifting the sit bones up and back for counterbalance. Now bend the knees even more, release your arms, keep your chin tucked, inhale here, press into all four corners of the feet, and exhale as you round up. Your arms and head stay heavy. Press into the feet. Lengthen all the way up, every spine, all the way to the crown. Open the heart by rolling the shoulders back, and then let them softly sink down the back. Let them stay down the back. As you inhale, start to reach through the fingers. Bring your palms till they're parallel to the ground. Press into the feet to lengthen through the crown. Now reach through the fingers, lengthening in two directions. Imagine I'm coming around with a tape measure and you're trying to get that extra little centimeter up through the crown and through the wingspan. Really reach, reach, reach. But see what you can soften. Can you soften the traps and the jaw and the eyes? Can you keep your gaze steady and soft, but find just a little more length? Keep that length and the softness through your shoulders as you lift your hands all the way up. Interlace your fingers, making one big fist here, palms together. Reach up out of the waist, but keep inviting the shoulders to soften down the back. Keep pressing through all four corners of the feet and lifting through the quads. Draw the belly in and up. Chin is away from the chest a little bit, but your neck, back of the neck is still long. Press the hands together, reach them a little higher. See what you can soften on the exhale. Stay in this place of presence. Drop your arms over to the right. You try to keep your arms straight, so you're squeezing your head. Your palms are glued together. Drop a little weight into the heels. Press those hips out to the left and reach like you're pulling that left hand up and over with your right hand. And then soften. Come back to center. Press the feet down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop it to the left. Using each breath to connect a little deeper and let go a little more. Slowly come back up. Keep your heart lifted. Interlace your fingers back behind you. Maybe you can glue your palms together here too. Press into the feet, lift the heart, find a little back bend. Maybe just drop your head back. And then we'll hinge at the hips and come forward. If you need to bend your knees, you can. Press the feet down, engage the core, drawing the belly in and up. Let your head be heavy, shake it out a little bit. And then keep reaching those arms up and overhead. Maybe starting to straighten into the legs, but mostly staying with this breath and seeing what you can soften and how long you can hold on to it. How much of this prana can you invite into your body? Slowly lower your hands down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Press your hands into your shins. Even here, upper external rotation of the upper arms. Shine the heart forward. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Step back to plank. Find this nice long line of energy here. Back of the neck is long and parallel to the ground. Press into the fingers and knuckles. Fire up the arms, just like we did before. Lengthen out from your heels to your crown. Soften through the traps, the jaw, the eyes. Feel the strength in your body. Maybe starting to shake a little bit, but still staying with this breath as long as you can, using it to power up. Roll to the outside edge of your left foot. Peel your right arm up, side plank. Press down into the hand to lift the hips a little higher. Reach your right arm up alongside the ear and lengthen through the whole right side. Maybe roll your heart up towards the sky just a touch. Come back to plank. Fire up the arms. Roll to the outside of the right foot. Peel the left arm up. Keep lengthening all the way through the crown, softening through the traps, lifting through the hips. Roll the heart up towards the sky. Reach the left arm up alongside the ear. Slowly come back to plank and lower your knees. Keep your hips stacked over your knees. Walk your hands forward like puppy pose. Maybe your forehead can come to rest here. So press into your fingers and knuckles, just like in down dog, to press those sit bones up and back. Soften the traps out of the ears, hollowing out the armpits, turning them in towards the face, and then soften into it here. Let's roll out the ankles here too, if it's not too much on the knees, to lift the feet up. Switching the directions of the circles here. Maybe you lift the wrists up here, coming up on those fingertips and settling in just a little bit more. Slowly walk your hands back under your shoulders. Come back up to your hands and your knees. Let your head hang heavy. Fire up the arms. Lift the knees a couple inches. Slowly lift up and back till the spine lengthens all the way out. And then start to sink into the heels, maybe starting to straighten into the legs. Find your breath. Shake your head a little bit. And again here, you can either lengthen through the back of the neck, tucking the chin slightly, or you can just let your head be heavy, whichever feels better. Just don't hold your head up or sideways at all. We're trying to lengthen and decompress through the neck especially. Slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Press your hands into the shins, shine the heart forward. Find that external rotation. Roll the shoulders back. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Press into all four corners of the feet. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up. Find a little backward bend. Keep the heart lifted. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. Now we're going to keep pressing into the feet and lengthening up through the crown. Keep the shoulders soft and start to shake out the hands. As hard and fast as you can. See if you can stay with that breath though, really deep, really slow. See if you can keep your gaze steady and soft. A little harder, a little faster, really trying to get some chi moving here. Trying to make your fingers feel kind of rubbery. 10 more seconds. 3, a little harder, a little faster. Okay, bring your hands by your sides, palms facing forward, and feel that chi pulsing out through your palms. So imagine that we are these energy beings, and there's always this energy emulating out of us. And it's up to us to decide what that energy is like. If we want to stoke the fire, if we want to purify it, or if we just want to let it be as it is, that's fine too. But making sure that we are not taking that energy from the earth and then putting it back a little worse than we found it, just by putting a little negative spin or judgment or blame on it. Imagine for a moment that your body is this filter. We're taking this energy up out of the earth through our feet. And instead of just putting it back in a symbiotic fashion, we're trying to put it back a little bit better, with a little more love in it. And we're using the practice of yoga to get better at this, to get better at moving our body from this place of connectedness, where our thinking mind is either shut off or only thinking positive thoughts. So that's where mantras can really help. If you find your mind wandering, put any old cheesy cliche mantra in there on a repeat. All right, I am love. I don't need love. I am love. Or whatever one feels right to you today, put that in there if your thoughts are wandering. And inhale your arms up overhead. Squeeze your palms together, lift a little higher. Exhale, fold forward. Walk your hands forward into plank. Fire up the arms, lengthen the back of the neck. Find your breath. Be vigilant. Keep the eyes and everything steady, not fidgeting. Staying present and focused. Harnessing our energy in an intentional way. Rock forward onto your tippy toes. Lower the knees, and then the chest, and then the chin. Untuck the toes. Your hands are under your shoulders. They're still really activated. Your elbows are actively hugging in against your rib cage, and then they're reaching back towards the feet. Now press into the feet and lift the knees up off the ground. Use the hands to pull the heart forward a little bit, and then start to lift the heart up, but keep softening the shoulders down the back. Keep pressing through the feet, keep hugging the elbows in and reaching them back. Keep lifting the heart a little more. Keep softening a little more. If this isn't too much, keep coming up a little higher on each inhale. Try to soften your glutes. If it is too much, lower all the way back down with each exhale. Maybe you can straighten into the arms. Keep pressing through the feet. And even though you're pressing into the hands to lift the heart, you're still using the hands to pull the heart forward and roll the shoulders back. See what you can soften. Maybe the last breath, you look up and reach up through the chin. Soften your glutes. Slowly lower back down. Press it back to child's pose. And then lift up, downward facing dog. Fire up your arms. External rotation of the upper arms. Internal rotation of the lower arms. Draw the belly in and up. Hollow it out. Lengthen through the back of the neck to look up at the belly. If that's too much, just let your head hang. Soften the traps out of the ears, creating some space here. Find your breath. Inhale, lift your right foot up high. Exhale, draw your knee all the way to your nose. Step it through, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower your hands. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Lengthen your spine. Hold on to this breath. Exhale, fold, belly in and up out of the way. Fold a little deeper, empty every last drop. Press into the feet, inhale, rise up, find a little backward bend. Exhale, let something go. Bring your hands to the heart center and lower them down by your sides. Keep your shoulders soft. Inhale, reach out, lengthen up. Exhale, swan dive, press into the feet, hinge at the hips. Belly in and up, fold a little deeper, every last drop of air gone. Inhale, lift up halfway, find a little more length, take one more sip. Exhale, step the right foot back, lower the right knee down. Inhale, rise up. Hold on to it, take one more sip, maybe find a little backward bend. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, downward facing dog, sink into the heels. Inhale, lift the left foot high. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Lower down, inhale, rise up. Take your time. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Press the feet down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. How you know when to start the next one is when you're completely empty. Press into the feet and then let the breath be your guide. Inhale, rise up, fill up. Exhale, hands to heart. Hands down by your sides. Moving with intention. Moving from this place of presence. Exhale, swan dive. Use your inhale to lengthen and create space. Exhale, step the left foot back, lower the left knee down. Keep your gaze steady. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, step back to plank, or to downward facing dog, sorry. Sink into your heels, fire up your arms, head is heavy. Breath is deep, soften through the fronts of the ankles. And see if you can melt your heart down towards the knees a little bit. Press into your fingers and knuckles a little bit more. Inhale, lift the right foot up high. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose and step it through like warrior one. Left heel spins out and down, knee stacks right over ankle, arms reach up out of the waist. Maybe your hands come together and you gaze up at the thumbs. Press the right knee straight out over the second toe, not off to either side. Keep it stacked right over the ankle. Press down into all four corners of both feet. Draw the belly in and up, lift the heart and reach up. Soften the shoulders down the back, soften the face. So your gaze is fixed, so you're looking at one thing, but not intensely. You're not even really trying to see the thing. It's just a placeholder, your drishti. So soften your gaze. Almost that sleepy or stoned look, because you're not trying to use your energy to pour outwards. We're finding this inward intention, inward gaze here. Bring your hands to your heart. Keep your knee bent deeply. And now hinge forward, turn and twist to the right. Hook the left elbow outside the knee, and then twist your heart towards your thumbs, trying to place them on the center of the chest. If this is too hard to balance or too much of a twist, you can come up on those back toes. Otherwise, keep that left heel down. Check back in with the right knee, pressing straight out over second toe, not off to either side. Press the right hand down and to the left. Roll the right shoulder back. Inhale, lengthen to your spine and the back of your neck. Feel that. Exhale, soften to the traps, the eyes, the jaw. Come up on the back toes. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. Sink into the heels. Now open up the arms. Lower your booty a little more. Pull your belly in. Roll that right shoulder back. Lengthen through the spine and the back of the neck, and then see what you can soften on the exhale. Keep your upper body facing this direction. Stay seated in the chair. Lift your upper body upright. Right hand reaching back. Left hand reaching forward. Maybe you can gaze back at the right hand. See if you can tell if your left knee's popping out in front of your right. And if so, draw your left hip back a little bit to keep your hips and knees square to the front of the mat. Now we're going to slowly step the left foot back into reverse crescent. Right hand finds left thigh. Right knee bends a lot. Left hand reaches up. See if you can sink into the left heel and stay for one more breath. Now cartwheel your hands down. Shoot the right foot up and back. Three-legged dog. Bend your knee. Open your hips. Try to stack them. Your head stays heavy. Chest stays square to the mat. You're still pressing into the fingers and knuckles and finding that external rotation of the upper arms. Maybe you can sink into the left heel a little bit. Relax your head and your neck and your face. Come back downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward into plank. Lower down to the knees and then the chest and then the chin, or come through chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Settle in here for a couple of breaths. Use this breath to connect a little deeper, to let go. Use this inhale to lengthen through the spine, creating space for the unmanifest to enter your mind, your body, your life. Inhale, lift the left foot up high. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through warrior one. Stack knee over ankle, spin right heel out and down, and reach up out of the waist. Press the left knee straight out over second toe. Press all four corners of both feet down. Draw the belly in and up. Squeeze the palms together if your hands are together. If your hands are not together, no problem. Just spiral your pinkies in towards each other and then draw your shoulders down into their sockets, okay? Find your breath. Find stillness here. No fidgeting, but know the difference between needing to adjust your body and just kind of fidgeting around because you're restless or not focused. Stay for one more breath. Keep the length in your spine as you bring the hands to the heart and tip forward. Keep pressing knees straight out over second toe. Turn and twist to the left. Use that leverage point to twist your heart towards your thumbs, maybe placing them right on the center of the chest. If you need to, come up on the back toes. Check back in with the knee. Notice the tendency for it to shoot off to either side, and be vigilant to keep it stacked to correct our alignment here. Press the left hand down to roll the left shoulder back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Come up on the back toes. Step the right foot forward. Sink into the heels. Open the arms. Maybe gazing up at the left hand. Pull the belly in. Lower the booty. Roll that left shoulder back. Stay seated in your chair. Keep your upper body facing this direction. Just lift it upright. Gaze back at the left hand. Keep your hips facing the top of the mat by drawing that right hip back. Soften the shoulders down. Step the right foot back. Let the left hand come to find the back of that thigh. Bend into the left knee. Reach the right hand up. Sink into the right heel. Stay for one more breath. Cartwheel the hands down. Shoot the left foot up and back. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee. Open the hips. Maybe they stack. Head is heavy. Breath is deep. Press into the fingers and knuckles evenly. Fire up the arms. And come back downward facing dog. Settle in here. Inhale, ripple forward into plank. Roll to the outside edge of your left foot. Reach your right arm up. Press down through that whole hand to lift the hips a little higher. Maybe the right leg lifts up here. Find your breath. Reach your right arm up alongside the ear. Lengthen. Roll the heart up towards the sky. And then maybe the right foot steps behind you and you flip it over. Relax your head and your neck. Reach through the fingers. Lift your hips. Lift your heart. Let something go on the exhale. Slowly come back to plank and lower through chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Settle in here. Inhale, ripple forward into plank. Roll to the outside of the right foot. Lift the hips a little higher. Maybe the left foot lifts up. Left arm comes up alongside the ear. Roll the heart up towards the sky. Step the left foot behind you. Flip it over. Relax your head, your neck, your jaw. Keep your gaze steady and soft. Reach through the fingers. Slowly come back to plank and lower through chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Inhale to lift up halfway. And exhale to fold. Step your feet as wide as your hips. Hook your big toes with your peace sign fingers. Inhale, lift up halfway. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Pull your head down towards your feet. Soften your shoulders up out of your ears, creating space. Draw your belly in and up out of the way so you can fold a little deeper. Lengthen the spine and the back of the neck. Rock a little weight into the balls of the feet. Lift the sit bones up and back. Maybe starting to straighten into the legs. Imagine this next breath could be unlike any breath you've ever taken before, and really get curious about how long you can make it last and if it can help you to lengthen your spine and decompress and let go a little bit more just by choosing to participate in it a little more, just by choosing to stay aware of this breath, this connection to source. Release your grip. Inhale, reverse swan dive, press into the feet, come all the way up. Find a little backward bend. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. Okay, lift your right heel right up into the center line of your body. Cup your toes with your left fingers and bring your right hand to your heart. All right, press the whole left foot into the ground evenly. Lift the left quad up and make sure your hips are level. If you can see yourself on the video, I would suggest even actually making you the biggest one on the video if you have that option too, so you can see yourself here. See if you can scoop your hips forward a little bit and drop your knee back. So see if you can inhale to lengthen up through the crown, and then see if you can exhale to soften. Yeah, you just click right on your image, yeah? So press that foot down, imagine like a tree rooting to rise here, lengthen up. Scoop the hips forward, let the knee fall back. Notice how you have to kind of lift the left hip and lower the right hip into this one. Now, maybe you want to reach your right hand behind your back. We're trying to grab the big toe, but we'll settle for the elbow and start to work our way down. But now start at the foundation up again. Press the left foot down, lift the left quad up, scoop the hips forward, let the knee fall back. Use your inhale to lengthen and your exhale to soften. Maybe you're starting to hinge forward here. Maybe you just continue rooting to rise for one more breath. And now we'll release and we'll lift that right knee in and up. And then we'll kick out through the right leg. Bring your hands to your hips. Point your toe. Lift your leg a little bit higher. Pull your belly in. Feel that left foot rooting down to lift your right foot a little higher. Now flex the foot. Draw the toes back towards the face. And then points. And then flex. One more time. We'll point. And we'll flex. Now we're going to cartwheel the hands to the ground and shoot that leg up high like standing splits. We're at the back of the mat now. Your head is heavy. Your breath is deep. See if you can level out the hips. All right. Again, so you're pressing the left foot down and lifting the left hip as you lower the right hip to get them square. Your head is heavy. Your breath is deep. And now slowly walk your hands forward like three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your knee all the way to your nose and step it through. Wiggle your right foot over to the right. Bring your right hand inside that foot. Lower that left knee down. Maybe you can lower down to the forearms here. So try to keep your knee hugging in against your shoulder. If it starts to open up out to the side, no problem. Just turn your toes out to the side a little bit too, okay? Your head is heavy. This breath is deep and slow and is the only thing going on in all of the world is this breath. Can you stay with it just a little bit longer? Can you give it a little bit more of your attention to invite a little more of this presence, the unmanifest, this stillness into your body? Can you use that to let go a little bit, to soften this tension we hold? Come back up to the hands. Keep your left hand planted. Reach the right hand back for that foot. Try to grab the pinky toe side. If it feels like, oh my God, no way I can grab that, it's so far away, just do whatever you have to do. Push yourself way back, grab onto it, and then you can settle back into what looks like the pose, yeah? Press the left hand down to lift the heart. And now create some resistance, kicking into your hand and pulling the foot in. Feel this little bit of push-pull going on, but try to make it so balanced that it's not really a push-pull. Yeah, use your breath. Keep your gaze steady and soft. Really exercising our discipline, our focus muscles, yeah? So that we can remember to use our breath as an opportunity to connect, to soften, instead of it just being a function that happens to keep us alive. We're choosing to participate in it and make it a little deeper, a little richer. Slowly lower the toes down, curl them under, shoot the right foot up and back, three-legged dog. And come back downward facing dog. Settle in here, head is heavy. Press into the fingers and knuckles, fire up the arms. Melt your heart towards the knees, melt your belly towards your thighs, but the belly's drawing in and up out of the way, so it would never touch those thighs, right? Slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Slide the fingers under your toes all the way to the crease in the wrist. Pull your head down towards your feet. Pull your shoulders up out of your ears. See if you can rock your weight into your toes to get the wrist bone all the way down, and then lift those sit bones up and back for counterbalance. Belly in and up out of the way. Inhale, lengthens the spine and the back of the neck, lengthens the back of the legs. Lengthen this breath by staying focused and staying with it as long as you can. Exhale, we see what we can soften. One more chance, one more breath. Release your hands, reverse swan dive, press into the feet. Keep your knees bent if you need to. Find a little backward bend. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. Lift your left heel up into the center line. Cup your toes with your right fingers. Bring your left hand to your heart. Root to rise here. Press the right foot down, lift the right quad up, level the hips, lengthen through the crown. Exhale, soften, scoop the hips forward, let the knee fall back. Steady your gaze, steady your breath, and fight every temptation to follow a thought. There's so much going on here. If your mind starts to wander, just come back to that foundation and start rooting to rise and using the exhale to soften. Maybe you reach around for that big toe, settling for the elbow. And one more time, scoop hips forward, let the knee fall back. Find stillness. And lift the left knee up. Kick it out in front, your foot. Point the toe, lift a little higher. Press the right foot down, try to level the hips. Find your breath, lift a little higher. Now flex the foot, turn the toes back towards the face. And point, and flex, and point. One more time, flex, and point. Cartwheel your hands down, shoot the leg high like standing splits. Head is heavy, breath is deep, level the hips out. So feel the right foot pressing down and the left foot lifting up equally. Right hip lifting, left hip lowering. Slowly walk your hands forward like three-legged dog. And then bring the knee to the nose and step it through. Lower the right knee down. Wiggle the left foot over to the left. Bring the hand inside. Lower the right knee down. And then see if you can lower down to the forearms or a bolster. Keeping the knee hugging in. If it falls open, then the toes turn out to the left a little. Head is heavy. This breath, it's all about this breath. Can you make it last a little longer? Slowly come back up onto your hands. Reach the left hand back for that foot. Do whatever you need to do to grab a hold and then sink back into it. Rooting down into the fingers and knuckles, lifting up through the heart, maybe starting to gaze back over the shoulder or slightly up. Maybe starting to create that resistance that at first feels like a little push-pull, but then equalizes. Using the breath. Stay focused, stay still, stay present. Slowly release those toes down, curl them under, shoot the left foot up and back, three-legged dog. And then lower back, downward facing dog, settle in here. Now we'll lower down to the knees. And we'll work on headstands for a couple minutes. If there's a different arm balance or inversion you would like to work on, feel free to do that now. If you have space against a wall and you want to use the support of a wall, you can move your mat. If you don't feel like going upside down or doing an arm balance, just straighten your legs up towards the ceiling. Keep your neck long and straight, looking up, chin slightly tucked. If you already have a headstand practice and you want to get right into it, you can. If you want to watch, I can show you a way to get into headstands. So we'll interlace the fingers, creating a cradle for the back of the head, because it's the very, very top of the head that touches the mat. Then the back of the head gets cradled. And we curl the toes and we walk the feet in as close as we can get them. And then we'll start with just lifting one leg up and staying up on the tippy toes. And then we'll start by just trying to slowly lift the right foot up off the ground just an inch or two. Maybe eventually kicking all the way up. We're building that core strength to be able to slowly come up without momentum here. When you feel tired, you can switch legs or you can come into a child's pose in between if you like. See if you can stay with your breath. When you're finished, we'll come into a child's pose. Turn your palms to face up here. Relax through the shoulders and the traps and the jaw. So we all strive to be present, right? It's tricky. Sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm present, but your mind is somewhere else. And if you're thinking about the past or the future, then you are not in this moment fully. So our way of life nowadays is there's a lot of multitasking. I guess less so currently. Maybe that's the silver lining, huh? Because I feel like multitasking is kind of a illusion. That typically, unless you're really gifted, you can only really do one thing with all of your attention and energy. And this idea that we can do 5 things at once usually just means that it gets 1/5 of our energy, which sometimes is necessary and a crucial part of being probably a woman and a mother. But I think what also kind of gets us sideways, gets us to where we're always just giving everything 1/5 of our attention instead of our full attention. And even though we all know that our thoughts become our reality and that they're literally the same makeup as our bodies and of all the things that we see, we know that they become things, we still allow them to run rampant. Having idle thoughts, or even worse, negative thoughts, worries. And we think like, oh, it's normal. Everybody worries about their kids or about their whatever. But we know that those thoughts are creating our reality. So we're allowing thoughts about the things we don't want to then create, guess what, right? It's a tricky position we're in. We're in this weird place where it feels like, oh, it's fine. We want to let ourselves off the hook because we don't want to beat ourselves up, right? But it's a lot of responsibility being a human. Our minds are very, very powerful tools. And they manifest whatever we desire. But the only way we can order up what we want from the universe is by thinking. So anything we think, the universe assumes, oh, here you go. Sometimes it feels a little too heavy to have to take responsibility for that and think, oh God, then what if I think a negative thought? But it's kind of what's up here. It can feel a little heavy, but with tools like yoga and meditation, we can find this vigilance to purify our thoughts, our intentions, and manifest the lives that we desire. All right, let's stretch it out a little bit. Let's roll on up and then sit onto our left hip and straighten our right leg out. Kick out through the heel, draw the toes back towards the face. Inhale the arms up, reach up. Now turn the body to face the leg and lengthen out. If you can grab the foot, that's what you'll do. If not, just grab whatever you can grab on the leg. Now keep kicking through the heel, keep it lifted off the ground if you can, and then lift the heart, level the shoulders out, lengthen through the crown, and now pull your heart towards the foot. Soften the shoulders down, find your breath. See if you can keep that left knee and sit bone pressing down and keep kicking through the heel. See if you can use this inhale to lengthen, see how long you can hold on to it. Steady gaze, soft gaze, exhale, soften, let go of some of that tension. You don't need it. You need some of it, right? But I promise you won't stretch too much unless you're extremely aggressive. Sometimes in hot yoga, you can stretch a little too much. It's the only danger of hot yoga. You can get a little too warmed up, especially men, because they get all excited to show off and then they get warm and then they kind of overstretch sometimes. Slowly come back up and switch, straighten the left leg. Bring the right foot in, kick through the left heel. Inhale the arms up, turn to face that leg. Lengthen out, grab what you can, and then level things out. Level the shoulders out. Press the right knee and sit bone down. Don't forget to use this inhale to lengthen. Notice how quickly your mind gets distracted. And just bring it right back with this invitation to use this exhale like it's a brand new, different exhale. And like maybe there's something that can be unlocked just in this breath right here and right now. One more chance to let something go. Slowly come back up. We're going to bring our feet flat on the ground and we're going to slowly roll all the way back into plow pose. See if you can get your toes to touch the ground. Keep your neck straight. Soften through the neck and the shoulders. You can keep your hands on your low back if you like, or you can try to interlace your fingers back there, but keep softening through the head, the neck, the shoulders. Try not to let your breath be restricted. Use all of your focus and awareness to stay with this breath. 5, 6, maybe even 7, 8 counts. Notice as you soften, it becomes less about the neck and more about the curve in your spine. Reach your hands towards the top of the mat behind you. Press your palms down. Use them as the brakes. Slow as you can go. One vertebrae at a time comes down. Once your booty touches the ground, slide your hands under your booty with your palms facing down. Flex your feet. So kick out through the heels, draw the toes back towards the face, squeeze the legs together. We'll take 20 seconds to lower the legs down. Tuck your chin a little bit. Relax through your neck and your jaw and your shoulders. Kick through the heels. Squeeze the legs together. Pull the belly in. 10 more seconds. If you want to, we'll pop up into a fish pose. Once your legs come down, press into the elbows to lift the heart up. Drop the head back like you're trying to touch the crown of the head to the mat behind you. Press into the elbows and lift and open the heart. Maybe the legs lift up off the ground. And release. Hug your knees into your chest. All right, lower your feet down flat, cactus the arms, cross your right knee over your left, shift your hips to the right, and lower the knees to the left. That little shift will see your hips will stack here. Look down. You might still need to draw the left hip back a little bit to stack them. Gaze out over the right hand. Relax your hands, your elbows, your shoulders. Relax your head and your neck. Steady your gaze, soften your gaze. And hold on to this breath like it was the last breath you ever got to take in. You never want it to end. Make the exhale just as long and melt a little bit, softening that tension through the traps, the shoulders, the low back. Slowly come back to center, hug your knees into your chest. Lower your feet down flat. Cactus the arms. Left knee over right. Shift the hips to the left. Lower the knees to the right. Gaze down, stack the hips. And then we look at the left hand and melt. Find stillness. Stay focused on this breath. This breath is the one that's going to unlock that last little bit of tension you've been holding on to fiercely. If you could just breathe a little bit deeper, you could get all the way down into that spot. And then on the exhale, we feel that tension leaving our body, relaxing the shoulders even more. Hug your knees into your chest. And let your legs go along on the mat. Spread your feet as wide as the mat and let your toes fall open. One more time, we'll tuck the chin just a little bit to lengthen back there behind the neck. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue. And now we'll let go of holding on to the breath. We'll let go of holding on to anything. Unless your mind starts to wander, then continue using the breath as a tool, staying with it as long as you can to stay right here in this moment. See if you can imagine that instead of actively trying to release tension and soften on the exhale, imagine that it's just happening. It's just like what the exhale is for. Is this release of all the pressure we're under. Imagine it's just doing it for you. Removing the tension from your body and the stress from your mind. Invite a deeper breath back into your body. Invite movement back into your fingers, into your toes. And invite yourself to stay in this place of calm. It's always right here for you. That is not just reserved for meditation or during yoga. Instead of looking at this as the end of your practice today, imagine this is just the beginning. This was to set the stage to get you to this place. Now the real practice is seeing if you can stay in this place while you interact with the world. When you feel up to that challenge, roll onto your right side. You know, like our mothers told us, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Lately, I've been taking that way further, like probably way too far. I'm like, if I cannot interact with the world from this place of connectedness, of purity in my heart, I can't go anywhere. I can't. And, you know, I'm obviously privileged and have the luxury to do that right now. I'm not suggesting that anybody else has that, but it's been pretty interesting. And I do think like that if I can't be having just loving thoughts, that no matter what it looks like my body's doing or how productive it seems like my actions are, that ultimately I'm just polluting the world with my thoughts. And so I'm like, okay, well, if you can't have nice thoughts, you sit in meditation until you can. And then you get to go out and play. It's like the whole clean your room. You don't get to go leave your house on Saturday till your room's clean. I'm using all the lessons my mom taught me, but taking them probably way too far. I don't know. But it's been interesting just to see, you know, it's like if you can't use your body as a filter to make the world a better place, then maybe you should sit in meditation until you can. And maybe that's what this whole great awakening or slowdown is about. Maybe we're all getting a little more time to make that happen. I hope. When you're ready, slowly come back up to a seat. Because I'm sure you've noticed, but something has got to shift. Something's got to change. And I get too overwhelmed when I think about it until I just go, okay, well, all I'm going to do is go inward. I can make change there. I can create peace there. And if we all did that, there would be no world to save. Then there would be world peace. So lately I've been resolving to go, okay, that's my part and I'm doing my part. Not to say that's all I can do and that I shouldn't be able to go out into the world and interact with it in a way that looks productive and functional too, but I'm getting there. Bring your hands to your heart and let your head bow to your heart. And notice how even that can just be a little mindless move, or it can be like a deep and sacred gesture. And you can feel the difference. Now see if you can infuse everything today with that deep and sacred gesture, keeping that presence by staying with your breath. Bring the thumbs up to the center of the forehead and take a moment to thank yourself for showing up and doing your part to create a little more peace. Because we all know the world needs a little more of that right now. May all beings everywhere be free from pain and suffering. May our thoughts and actions in some way contribute to that. Namaste.